Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Life Sciences Pennsylvania President and CEO, Chris Molyneux.
Well, good morning, everyone. Good morning, and thank you for coming. Welcome to Life Sciences Future. This is Life Sciences Pennsylvania's annual meeting. We appreciate you all coming. We have a very full, I think very robust agenda, tremendous turnout, very high level and very sophisticated audience over the next couple of days, so we certainly appreciate you all coming. I like to take these moments on stage to provide a quick update on the trade association, your trade association, and I'll just start by giving you the most recent membership number. So as of today, we have about 930 member companies. Thank you. And it has continued to grow under the leadership of Sam Woods-Thomas, Lois Stevens, Emily Boring, Karen DeLone. I think you know all these folks that are really in your membership relations group that are here to serve you every day. And the membership really does now include or represent the entire life sciences ecosystem of Pennsylvania. So medical devices, diagnostics, pharma, biotech, the research institutions, CROs, investment organizations, the service community. So really a true representation of the ecosystem. And we are not geographically bound in that 900 plus membership. We've got about 120 member companies that are based outside of Pennsylvania. So it's really important to recognize that because of how portable resources are, how portable capital is. I think you're going to hear that theme throughout the next couple of days. And we really are a national, in some cases international organization. So we're very proud of that. What has not changed over the last few years as that has grown is our two primary areas of accountability. So just a quick update on the first one, public policy advocacy. We continue to engage very heavily in Harrisburg, in Washington, D.C. We did see a lot of very good movement on our state policy priorities this year under Kurt Imhoff's leadership. We had legislation introduced to create a matching SBIR fund, for example. We continue to push for association health plans, various pieces of legislation to ensure patient access. So the advocacy agenda continues at the state level. And at the federal level, we're still hoping for reauthorization of the Pediatric Priority Review Voucher Program, which is going to expire September 30th if it's not reauthorized. But Senator Bob Casey has been instrumental in pushing forward a reauthorization. And we continue to support efforts to really look closely at PBMs, pharmacy benefit managers, and are constantly reminding our members of Congress and the state legislature that the real issue facing patients these days with respect to prescription drug pricing isn't the price of drugs, it's how much they're paying out of pocket for their drugs, which is an insurance benefit design conversation, not really a drug pricing conversation. So state level, federal level advocacy continues. If you'd like to learn more about those areas, we do have a state policy committee and a federal policy committee, very well organized by Kurt and Lara Flynn, respectively. Just contact either one of them and you can get on those committees because we certainly welcome anyone from our membership. On the program side, obviously this is our biggest event of the year, our biggest networking event of the year, our biggest partnering event of the year. But we've continued to roll out programs throughout the year really to facilitate strategic connections. And I'll talk about that in just a second. But we had our annual dinner back in the spring. We had our annual tailgate also back in the spring. And throughout the year, we run smaller programs, online educational programs, all designed for three objectives. First, to educate and inform, obviously, to keep our members up to date on the latest issues and trends. Second, to showcase the scientific business and scientific prowess that exists in Pennsylvania. And third is to create opportunities for networking, so to get all of you together, facilitate connections, and that brings us to today. So we have, as I said, we have a very robust agenda, and what you'll see relative to prior years is a very tight focus this year on partnering. And when I say partnering, That means whatever you need it to mean. So it might be large pharma companies looking for an asset. It might be a large med tech company looking for a med tech asset. It might be a service provider looking for clients or a startup looking for investors. That's what we're trying to create here with the conference today and tomorrow. So facilitating partnerships, facilitating those strategic connections. So to that end, you'll see a partnering system. Everyone who is registered for the conference is in the partnering system. If you have not gone in there yet to set up your profile, you should. And you can invite or try to arrange meetings with other conference participants through that partnering system. And in fact, it's also in your program. There's a QR code to get into the partnering system, to fill out that profile, and also arrange meetings. We put these conferences together, obviously, with a lot of work by the staff, and I'll talk about them in just a second. But this conference, more than any other we put on, is driven by our membership, and I want to acknowledge the two co-chairs of our conference. I think we've got a slide for them. Tara Muzzy from Johnson & Johnson. Tara wasn't available to join us today because she's launching a product. So they had approval last week for, I can't remember the name of the product. I probably couldn't pronounce the name of the product, but in gastro, another monoclonal antibody in gastroenterology. So she's at her launch meeting. She heads the gastro business for J&J. And John Witkowski, who just took a new job as CEO of Solesis. So John's a little tied up. He just started 2 weeks ago. So he's a little tied up as well. But anyway, under Tara's leadership and John's leadership, we were able to build this agenda, but not exclusively Tara and John. You'll also see in your program the list of planning committee volunteers. We had more than 80 planning committee volunteers. Now, you'll only see 70 of them in here, 74, I think, because we had a secret committee that was designed to attract all the investors we managed to get to the meeting this week. But we keep that committee under wraps. I'm sure you can appreciate why. But anyway, so I really want to thank the co-chairs, and please give a round of applause to our planning committee as well. So I mentioned the planning process. That obviously drives the content, but the event really is made possible by the generous support of our sponsors. If I told you what the per person cost is, you would recognize it's actually higher than what we charge when it comes to all the production of the food, and it's really made possible by our sponsors. So I do want to thank our sponsors as well. So please, a round of applause for all of our sponsors. And you'll hear from many of them over the next day and a half. And finally, I want to thank two specific groups that are obviously closely tied. First is our board of directors. So many of you know we have a large board of directors. I have 34 board members. That usually elicits a gasp. But it's actually pretty typical of a trade association because it really is reflective of our membership. So our board is made up of individuals who represent startup medical device companies, large medical device companies, big pharma, biotech, service providers, the research community, the investment community, and geographically. We have board members from every corner of Pennsylvania. I'm going to pick on Christian Manders, one of our board members from Pittsburgh. Bruce Shook is here from the Southeast. Steve Janetta from Philadelphia. I mean, with many of the board members scattered throughout the room. I can't spot all of them from here, but they've got the handsome blue ribbons on. So please say hello to them. Please thank them for their support, because it's really the board of directors that gives us the latitude and the confidence to do what we do to create events like this on behalf of all of you. And then when it comes to the last group I'll acknowledge and thank is the team at Life Sciences Pennsylvania. So this conference came together under the direct, strong oversight of Karen DeLone and Gabby Forgione, who is our relatively new Director of Development and Programs. So Karen and Gabby really drove the development of the agenda, the logistics, everything you're going to see over the next day and a half. But I think what you'll recognize when we have folks like Governor Shapiro speak tomorrow, Kurt and Lara Flynn heavily involved in the agenda as well. And as you go throughout the meeting rooms and the company presentations and the company reverse presentations, you will see handprints from every member of the staff on this event. It really is a team effort. And I know it sometimes sounds kind of cliche, but it truly is a team effort, and it's because of the great team that we've got here at Life Sciences Pennsylvania that these things come together so smoothly. So please, a quick round of applause for the staff members who are here. So